Hello, and welcome to another episode in our podcast series. I'm Joanna Brightstein from Global Communications, and I'm your host for today. With us is Craig Kennedy, who oversees supply chain and transformation as part of his efforts for the company. Thanks for joining us, Craig. How is our manufacturing division responding to the COVID pandemic?
Yeah, thanks, Joanna. So the response by MMD to the COVID pandemic really has just been a fantastic response around the world. We're weeks and weeks and weeks into this pandemic now, and even with significant adversity for our manufacturing facilities, service remains high, and for many of our products at an all-time high. And we've got a huge focus on making sure we meet our core mission of getting our medicines to our patients. And we've been able to do that even in the face of, a global pandemic. So the response has just been fantastic.
How do you think COVID 19 will impact the way we think about supply chains in the future?
There's going to be, I think, an increased acceptance of newer technologies for that last mile or last 10 miles or last 20-mile delivery for things like drones. And we see, demands in localities where those supply chains don't necessarily reach as well as a great way to solve those problems in these circumstances. And also a great way to solve problems when regular supply chains aren't working the way that they're supposed to. There are examples all around the world, even during this pandemic, where people are starting to use drones for that. For some of our other technologies, like the blockchain technology, our ability to track, trace, and secure our supply chains in circumstances like today is more important than ever. So I do see this as an opportunity to really continue to advance the agenda, which is for our patients and for our company, by introducing newer technologies that haven't readily been accepted in the past.
Have there been any surprises for you?
I think it's fair to say, Joanna, that MMD never surprises me. I just expect greatness from it in times of adversity, and it always delivers. A positive case appeared in one of our plant sites in a rural geography about a week ago. And as part of our protocol, we take that positive case, we identify who they may have interacted with, and we ask those people who were the interactions to also self-quarantine for 14 days. One of those employees who was quarantined also happened to be the sole caregiver for her elderly mother who has a little bit of dementia as well. And so she was unable now to provide the food gathering, the medicine gathering, the check-ins that her mother normally needed. The company rallied, and within 24 hours, we've been able to provide in that geography a service where a person now comes a couple of times a day to check in on the mother, to make sure that they have the medicine that the mother needs, and to make sure that the mother has food and all other services in order to remain healthy. And that really brought a lot of peace and calmness to the employee in a time of need. And I think that was a great cross-company story.
On a personal level, Craig, how is the COVID 19 pandemic affecting you and your loved ones?
We're all trying to deal with whether or not this is just a blip in our reality or whether this is a change in our reality. And I would say, it's been, quite difficult, as everybody has experienced, to have to, shelter in place, to have to be more planful and thoughtful about how you acquire the basic goods and services you need to run, to be able to educate your children while they're at home, and also continue one or two full-time jobs at the same time. It's been very difficult and fearful to watch people get sick around you, and in many cases recovering, in some cases not. It just continues to remind me of how lucky I am to be part of a company that is focused on the health and well-being of people around the world, and to see that company rally in times of need to make sure that it continues to do it. So I feel very lucky. Can't imagine being more fortunate than that.
Craig, thank you for all your work and for all the work of the people in MMD.
Thanks, Joanna, and I'm glad you're safe and sheltered in a location which is good for you and your family.